Good afternoon. I'm Kimberly Norick. I'm the educational representative for Music and Arts in Middle Tennessee. And joining me today is Mr. Ozimek. He is going to be demonstrating several different intermediate and professional level saxophones for us and talking about the features and benefits of them. But first, Mr. Ozimek, can you tell us a little bit about your background with
Yes, I'd be glad to. I have a long history of playing woodwind instruments and the saxophone. Goes way back to the 1960s. I grew up in New York, and we had quite an active music program out there. There was 2,000 students in my school, and we had 5 full teachers on staff. So you don't rarely see anything like that nowadays. But we had jazz bands, and we put on a lot of Broadway musical productions. Later, as I went off to college, I was able to study with many of the famous jazz instructors and saxophone teachers. And I went and received my degree from Indiana University, and also studied with the faculty from the Juilliard School with Joe Allard and Leon Rushinoff. And so I was very active playing in a lot of particularly Broadway musicals and jazz bands when I got here to the Nashville area. So I now play in a professional saxophone quartet, the Tennessee Philharmonic Saxophone Quartet, and we do a lot of playing around throughout the Middle Tennessee area. So I've been playing saxophone for about 50 years now. It's been a lot of years. So I've had over 5,000 students, and you sure learn a lot about the instruments and the students and how to help them be their best. So that's what we're here to do, to demonstrate these intermediate instruments, and we'll be glad to help you. We'll have a later session where you can ask questions.
Thank you. We look forward to hearing your demonstrations. And don't forget, if you do have any questions, please put them in our chat room. The first instrument he's going to be demonstrating is a GAS-10.
Yes, you know, our saxophone looks a little different here today. We're taking precautions with masks, so I'm going to be putting that on so we can do that the right way. All right, that's a bit of the Giardinelli. I've been very impressed with this instrument. One of the problems we've had in the saxophone market, and really generally in a lot of instruments, the prices have gone up a lot. So I know many of you will be looking for instruments that are very economical, that can afford, that will offer you a lot for your students to make their maximum progress. And the feel of an instrument and how it responds is so important when you're dealing with upgrade instruments. One of the things I think particularly at saxophones, because they're pretty instruments, right? It looks like gold. And people can very easily be deceived. Here you have double bracing on these lower keys. This does a tremendous job of keeping the pad so that it seals properly. That's also here too. That's a big problem with cheaper instruments. And you get a very nice seal here. The feel of the keys in the hands is very important. When I play faster, and as your students improve, they will be required to do that. Having the keys positioned in the right way in their hands can make a world of difference. Here at the palm keys, this is a very known issue. They have a very nice feature where you can adjust the position of the palm keys here. Back in my day, when I was a student in the 1970s in New York City, they used to go into a repairman and they would ask them to put corks here so it could be shaped to your hand. Now, with this instrument, you have the ability to change the position of it so it fits your hand perfectly, just like your hands in the glove. Octave key is very nice. I love this sculpted feature right here so that my finger can get on and off this key very easily. It makes it feel easy to play. So it blows very well, and it also has a nice balance between it. Sometimes when you play some instruments, you notice you'll play one note and it sounds a certain way. You go to the next note and it seems to jump out and sound out of character, like it's too loud. So we're always looking for that. And I think this fits up very nicely for a great instrument for an upgrade for a student. All right, the next instrument we're going to look at is the Yamaha Model 480. And I have been very impressed with the line of Yamaha instruments. One of the things I had shared with some of my musician friends is how much Yamaha has made an effort to try to take the very best of instruments in the world and copy and improve. That's kind of what they do and they're expert at. Back in the old days when I was first recording, a lot of people were playing on a certain brand of instrument and switched over to the Yamaha because it played so beautifully in tune with a nice even balanced tone. Another aspect of it too is they have a very beautiful fit to the hands. The hands feel very comfortable, just exactly what you want as you're improving your technique and looking to play faster and accurately. So here's a little demo that we'll do of the Yamaha Model 480. Okay, we were discussing Yamaha instruments, and I love the Yamaha instruments. They're so wonderful in their balance of their response, and the intonation is excellent. The feel of it, this is a big quality that you want to look for in a quality instrument like the one I'm going to show you here, the Yamaha Model 62-3. This is a very, very fine, professionally crafted instrument. This is the type of instrument that a full professional could play the rest of their lives. And many people in the recording studios do play Yamahas because of the beauty of the intonation. And of course, that's so important. You don't want the engineer to go back and be fixing that. And they're great flexible horns that can be played jazz or classical. And a lot of what saxophone players do is they have a different mouthpiece for the style they're playing, which is something I also want to recommend that you can really benefit from your shopping at Music and Arts. They have a wide array of mouthpieces that will suit your needs, whether you're playing classical or jazz or pop music or Broadway musical. So I'm going to be playing on the Sommer C-Star. We stock these mouthpieces here. And I give you a chance to hear this wonderful professional Yamaha alto sax.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ozimek, for trying the different instruments. Just to recap, he demonstrated a Giardinelli GAS-10, a YAS 480, and a YAS 62-3, which are both Yamaha products. And can you just let us know what type of student is going to be appropriate for these instruments, please?
Okay, you know, I think these are broad categories with the intermediate students looking to really excel in their band program. They're looking to be first chair player in their band. They're looking to audition for off-state or for mid-state band or for any of the special honors orchestras they have. Jazz band, they have here in Nashville, they have a special youth jazz band. And having a quality instrument like this makes it so much easier to play. One of the things we've noticed is about how well crafted the keys are here. I'm holding the Yamaha 62 model. But all of these instruments, the keys just feel better in your hands, and that makes a huge difference when you're trying to play faster and more difficult music. The way the instrument articulates, how the breath flows through the instrument, that's the kind of thing that the player becomes intimately aware of. So really what happens is you learn to play at a high level. You have a certain emotion you're trying to express with your playing, and the instrument becomes like an extension of your body. You just simply play and it responds. And this is what we sense when we play these better instruments. It's really going to help your students feel much better about what they're trying to achieve. It's also a great encouragement to them. One thing we must always be aware with a musician who's accelerating to a higher level, we don't want anything that's going to block their progress and discourage them. This will be an encouragement. So I think it's a very good investment. So when you get something, especially like this Yamaha 62 model, that's good for life. They can play that for the rest of their playing days. It's a pleasure to demonstrate them for you here today.
Thank
Thanks for
you
having
so
me on.
much, and thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Just a couple things in closing that we wanted to let you know about. We do have other brands available, so those are just a small variety of things that we wanted to demonstrate. So we do have appointments available at the store, so please make sure that you call or email to make your appointment. Unless you know what you already want, then you can just come in and purchase. We've got an Upgrade Your Sound event going on right now, and there's special promotions available. We do have 10% off if you're doing, just a cash transaction, or we have 48 months financing available with no interest for qualified customers. The Giardinelli and Strobel brand instruments do offer rental credit for the rental customers, and you can take up to 50% off of the retail price of the instrument if you choose one of those. We also have some manufacturer rebates on certain brands. And at this time, we're going to open it up to questions and answers. So if you haven't put your questions in the chat room, this would be a perfect time to do so. Thank you for joining us.